Okay, everybody, here we go. I had an exhausting day. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. And some of that had to do with, well, hold that thought. Anyway, look, let's do this. This is my post market wrap up, Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. Right now, I can't, this is just too funny. You got a market frozen, basically waiting to hear about earnings from one specific company. And I'm talking about NVIDIA here. I can't tell you how many people wrote to me today asking me how they should play this. People, look, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. Unless you have some kind of inside information into whatever may or may not happen here, you want to get involved in something that could possibly be so volatile, be my guest. All right, want me to throw something out? I will. How about this? If I were looking to trade NVIDIA on earnings, I would probably have taken up a straddle or a strangle, expecting a large move one way or the other. Pretty much that's it. You want to be naked on one end of this. Look, you may make a lot of money. You may lose a lot of money too. I don't play that game anymore. Believe me, I played that game for years, years. And I don't want any part of it anymore. So look, and let me just say this, people. Look, I love all of you and I love you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. And I'm trying my hardest to make this simple for you. But I'm not going to go out and answer how to trade a specific company like NVIDIA. I'm not going to do that. So I didn't answer one question, honestly, and I just won't do it. Now, something else I want to bring to your attention, because I think this is a little bit important. I said I wouldn't do it here. Trump media stock dropped below 20 bucks. I did a whole video on this a while back because I was getting slammed upside down, backwards, and sideways. Now, the reason why I'm even bringing this up, I've been hearing from those of you out here who got caught, unfortunately, and this is the vast majority of people on the wrong side of this, believing that somehow Donald Trump's stock was going to make you a millionaire. A lot of people got in here at or near the top. This thing was about 66 bucks a share before it started to free fall. We're under 20. The fair value for this stock, okay, is $9. I said that months ago when it was around 50 or 60 bucks. It's going to go to $9 at one point. All right. A lot of you, in fact, one guy specifically, I'm not going to mention any names because I know you're here right now, lost more than half of his investment putting cash to work here. Apparently bought it for around 40 bucks and asked me what I thought he should do. I'm going to say this, I did answer this one question, all right? I said, I believe it's worth $9. You make up your mind as to what you want to do, all right? I explained to all of you at the onset, some people, very few, were going to make a lot of money here, especially Donald Trump himself, okay? I said, most of you are going to get roasted. You're going to get decimated, and that's exactly what's happening. This stock is worth $9. It's not too hard to figure out a valuation here, people. Just look it up, how to do it, and you'll see that I am right. This is a $9 stock at best. All right. So if you're on the wrong side of this right now, you can expect more pain. I am not saying that we won't get a bounce sometime soon, but this is a disaster on an epic scale. So stay away from this, or wait till it hits to $9 and then buy. Okay. People believing in this guy. It's funny, people always put their faith in the wrong spot. You got decimated. You got absolutely decimated. And more losses are coming. There's no doubt. Okay, that's just my take on it. So to all of you who got stuck on the wrong side, who lost half of your investment or maybe more, stock is worth $9. That's Greg Mannarino's take. You're entitled to do, in your own opinion, do what you want with that. And that's it, period. The freaking end. This has been a nightmare since day one. This is a joke. You know who the joke has been on? 99% of the people out there. That's the truth. It's a shame. It's a travesty. And I hate that. I hate that because it didn't need to happen. Didn't need to happen. Those of you, my lions that listen to me on this, you came out of here smelling like a freaking rose. Okay. Those of you that didn't, You know what? You learn the freaking hard way. And I don't know what to tell you. I've been there. I've done that. Don't do this, people, man. Don't do this to yourself. It's just a donation. It doesn't go to him. Are you that stupid, really? Maybe he gets more rich off it. What about all the other shareholders and everybody else, people? Come on. Are you that dumb? Come on. Anyway, look, let's talk about this market. We did nothing today. We had some minor losses. And that's another thing. People, I already told you. You know, sometimes I get a little upset. I already told you I'm holding fire. Do you think that this is anything major? This is what just happened. Nothing with regard to the NASDAQ took the biggest hit today on the back of everyone holding their breath for NVIDIA. Cryptocurrencies got hit across the board. Gold and silver got hit as well. Crude oil too. All right, look, we've had a hell of a run up here. The market needs to drop a little bit. There's just no doubt about it. NVIDIA, they're going to move the market. I believe that's true. Larry, thank you, buddy. Anyway, look. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at with all this with this nonsense. But we have a lot more to cover here. We have a very unique situation developing in many ways here. Now, you and I don't know how many of you have been with me long enough to hear me speak about Bank of America. I've been telling you that Bank of America is being set up. Bank of America, they need a fall guy. They need two things, people. But just bear with me a moment here. They need an event or a series of events to occur. Because, again, what do they want? They want to bring down the current system. The current system is being deconstructed piece by piece by piece by piece. You understand? They need an event to occur that they can blame. Again, it can't be the Fed's fault. It's none of our lovely, caring politicians' fault. No, they're all perfect too. Because they are the ones that are going to give us a solution to the problem. But with that said, Bank of America is in a lot worse shape than we think. Look what just happened here yet again. Warren Buffett unloads Bank of America nearly $1 trillion. I'm sorry, $1 billion, nearly $1 billion here. Warren Buffett unloads Bank of America shares worth $982 million in his latest sale, and he's dumping and dumping and dumping. Now, this should tell you something. Right? I didn't pick Bank of America out a couple of years back just out of a hat. I study this stuff. When I come out here and I share information with all of you, I want to give you the most actionable information possible. Case in point, Greg Mannarino told you to stay away from this. If you would have listened to Greg Mannarino, you would have done fine. If you didn't, some of you lost tens of thousands, maybe even a lot more than that, unfortunately. This is a joke, and the joke has been played on all of you, Trump media stock. You got to be freaking kidding me. You got to be as high as a kite, doped up to the highest order. But okay, look, you want to stay that way, do it. Stay away from this institution, people. All right, I've been telling you. There's a cascade of events that's going to happen here, a blame game, some event. I think Bank of America is being set up as a fall guy so they can say, just like they did last time, Lehman Brothers went down, Bear Stearns went down, but all the good assets got bought out. We got stuck with the bad stuff. They're going to do the same thing. Let me explain something to you about Bank of America. Bank of America has good assets on their books. If and when this place is, I think it's being set up as the fall guy, so those in power can say, look, we allowed this institution to fail. That's what they did last time. They had to feed the people a head, a sacrificial lamb. That's what they did last time. Look, everybody, we allowed this too big to fail institution to fail. They didn't allow anything. What happened was all the good assets got bought by the other Wall Street institutions. You and I got stuck with all the bad stuff, and that's what's going to happen now. There are good assets here on the books of all these institutions. They're all going to get bought out by the major institutions. The rich are going to keep getting richer, and the poor people, the middle class, are going to be decimated. It's a disaster. Let's talk about more of a freaking disaster here. Oh yeah. So he pulls out nearly $1 billion, right? $1 billion. Berkshire Hathaway, his company just hit the $1 trillion mark. The rich are getting richer at the expense of everyone. Do you know how this works? Because trickle-down economics works so well that people are being decimated. And that's what we're being sold by, again, by this creature and the Kamala creature. They're selling you the same story because it's what all the developed nations around the world are doing now. Make the rich richer. Make the rich richer. okay, and more powerful. And by some miracle, an act of God, okay, then you're going to do better too. Tell me how's it working out for you, no matter where you live on this freaking planet. It ain't working. And you're being sold the same thing. I know you, all of you who follow this blog, you're not sheep here walking to the slaughter. At least I hope not. Okay, you understand what's happening, but there are people out there that have no idea, unless, of course, they get whacked across the face a few times by losing maybe half of their freaking investment. You got to be freaking kidding me. And it ain't over yet, people. It ain't over. I don't know what to tell you. Whatever, man. You know, I sit here and I work my rear end off, honestly, to try to, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm in the wrong business here. I don't know. Sometimes I really feel like, I don't know. Anyway, look. So we're being propagandized again. August sees a surge in consumer optimism despite labor market worries. They erased 818,000 jobs. They sold us that these jobs were created and our economy is doing so great. Then they erase them. It's gone. You don't even hear about it. It's interesting how the media works. First of all, this got barely any attention. You can't know it. You can't know that nearly 1 million jobs here just vanished. Can't know that. Oh, no, because then maybe you'd start to think. Maybe you'd start to engage your brain. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. You know, sometimes I got to vent a little bit, so just bear with me on this. It just drives me crazy, man. It just drives me absolutely out of my mind. NVIDIA is pumping, is it? Let me tell you something, people. A lot of people went short NVIDIA prior to these earnings here, naked. If that's the truth, they're going to get decimated. You have no idea how much I hate to see this, people. I really feel like, look, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, all right? But I kind of feel like I have a handle on all this. I really do. And I'm working so hard to try to save people from things like Trump stock, which was a joke since day one, and I told you it was. It's a joke. Wait to $9 if you have to own this stock. $9, and maybe that's even being overvalued. It's a profit list. Do you realize that there's no profit here? Can't make it up, man. Look, let's talk about the current situation because it's way worse than we think it is. Not only do we have billionaires pulling cash out of major Wall Street institutions like Bank of America here, which we knew already, you and me, is more than likely the scapegoat. That's going to be the sacrificial lamb, because they have to assign blame. You have to understand, people. It's always the same thing. Blame must be assigned. Real or not, they have to assign blame. And that's what they did last time, and they allowed these two institutions to fail. They assigned blame, and the people went, okay, I guess we're going to have to bail out everything else because they did blame those two institutions, and they're really nice people. And our loving, caring representatives, they got together with Ben Bernanke, and they're pumping billions and billions and billions of dollars into the system with the TAR program. But I'm just going to, just sit back here and just take it straight in the heart of gabagool. That's what they're setting up now. Okay. What do we know is going on here? Okay, we already established the fact, and I don't want you to believe me on this. You take it up for yourself, that 25% of the world's gold is under Wall Street in vaults. They're keeping the gold close by. Central banks loading up on gold. We haven't seen anything like this probably ever, but more so than the last 5 years. Why are they doing that? They're betting against their own system, the system that they want you and me to participate in. What are we doing? We're betting against the system too by holding gold, by holding silver, by gaining access to commodities here. You know that. This is going to melt down at one point. They're building up to that climax that you and I have been talking about since time immemorial. The debt is being fueled like we've never seen before. We're getting so trickle-down economics by the two creature things, subhuman entities that are one of them is going to sit behind the Resolute desk again to save you, just like Donald Trump's stock saved all of you. He was going to make you a millionaire, wasn't he? You got raped. And you know what? Sometimes you got to learn a lesson the hard way. Maybe next time when I say something, I don't know everything. That's the truth, period, okay? But I think that the way I look at this stuff here, I don't take anything lightly. I analyze, I hyperanalyze, I reanalyze. This is how I operate in every aspect in my life. I really, really do. But nothing more than this, because I feel a responsibility to all of you out here. I have a pretty big audience. Again, it's nothing like millions of people that are eating Tide Pods and licking toilet bowls. But I have a responsibility to you. And it's a pretty big burden, okay? And I welcome it. I think it's an honor to be kind of the daddy over here. And I'm trying to protect you. The job of the daddy lion, okay, is to take care of his pride. This pride here that we've built, we take care of each other, okay? That's really, we're lions, yeah, meaning we are a symbol of power, of unity as this pride. We come together, we protect each other. And that's what I am trying to do for all of you. I really am. I, again, don't know everything. Nobody does. And together, we are stronger. Look, don't jump into anything here without seriously thinking about it. I know you want to help Donald Trump because he's the greatest thing in the history of the world. Did you like losing tens of thousands of dollars, maybe more than that, when you thought this guy was going to make you rich? When he told you to buy the stock. He told you to buy the stock. He did. He went out there and tried to promote this company. How did that work out for you? Not too good. Nothing's going to work out good for you, man. I'm telling you right now. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. I wouldn't be surprised if he dumps his own shares. I think he would have to make an announcement of that. I wouldn't be surprised if he's dumping them now and leaving you all holding the bag. Anyway, look, the fact of the matter is, the evidence is everywhere. Central bank hoarding gold, betting against their own system. Bank of America, the same bank here that Warren Buffett just pulled out. What was that number again? Huge, 982 million, almost $1 billion. Out of this institution here, telling its clients to buy gold. Look, the truth, you can't escape. You want to try to escape the truth? You may be able to get away with it for an hour, a year, a month, 10 years. I don't care how long it is. The truth is going to come back and it's going to get you. You can't get away from it. And once in a while, a little bit of truth comes out of these institutions here. The richest people in the world here, I've already told you, do you think they have rooms the size of this one full of $100 bills from the floor to the ceiling? Absolutely not. They don't. Most people that are very wealthy are very cash poor. They have liquid assets. Okay. I don't consider myself a poor person. Okay. Honestly, I don't keep much cash around at all. I have it working for me in assets, in things. You understand? And this is what they're doing here. A lot of that gold under Wall Street, that belongs to the elite class. Absolutely it does. And the fact of the matter is that central banks are buying it all at the same time inflating, continuing to inflate, having freaks like Trump, freaks like Kamala telling you they promise you lower rates. They're promising to make the Fed stronger. That's all it does. When the central bank hears that out of the mouth of a politician, they have orgasms, multiple orgasms all over the halls of the Federal Reserves. That's what they do because this is what they want. They need, for how many months have this guy been telling you that they need an ally? They want an ally and they're going to get an ally to sit behind the resolute desk, just like the last three presidents. Obama, massive ally to the Federal Reserve. Trump, massive ally to the Federal Reserve. In fact, he outspent the other two. And I gave him credit, if you recall, for that 3.6 trillion from COVID. Now he's saying he's not getting enough credit for it. Are you kidding me? So now he owns it. I tried to take that away. I said, no, he wasn't responsible, but he is because he wants to be. Are you kidding me? And this thing here, he doesn't know what's going on anyway, man. You know what's going on here. We need to bet against the system. And that's exactly what central banks are doing. That's what the rich are doing. It's coming apart. It's coming apart faster. And all they're going to do is inflate all this nonsense, all this talk, all this garbage about a fight. We're fighting for inflation. We're going to bring inflation down. People, the same people that created the problem. Do you believe that they have your best interest in mind? You think this is by accident? There's not a single person, not even one, that follows this blog that believes that anything they've seen so far is an accident or a comedy of errors or just by chance. This is deliberate. They are bringing us to our knees here, people. And then they're selling us propaganda, consumer sentiment. Oh, it's great. Consumers are really happy. They're loving to have to pay more for everything else. And then they're being lied to yet again. It's so-and-so's fault why we have inflation. No, it's his fault why we're having inflation, showing tic-tacs. I can't get over that whole tic-tac thing with Trump. It blew my freaking mind. You got to be kidding me. That's how stupid he thinks you are. And Kamala, I think none of these people care, people. I'm not calling anybody up because they're both idiots. And they're both imbeciles and they're subhuman freaking Satanists. That's who they actually are because they work for the Fed, which has got to be the most dark institution on the face of the earth. And then they're going to sell you things. Buy my stock. I'm going to make you rich. Decimated, didn't you? I can't tell you, man. This stuff is going to lead Greg into a freaking stroke one day, man. Anyway, people, look, we just got to raise our awareness. We are about to see something so epic, so absolutely earth-shattering, and that is what central banks are doing right now. This emergent, you notice what's missing here? Let me ask you something. I don't know how many of you follow the mainstream media. Have you heard them once say emergency monetary policy, or they use some other term here? Oh, the Fed's going to cut rates. Oh, the Fed's easing. They don't even use quantitative easing because then you would go and look up quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is emergency monetary policy. It's only instituted when the economy is in an emergency situation here. But according to them, our economy is rip-roaring strong. Consumers are loving life right now, and we're all rich. You understand? The lie, the collective lie that is being sold to you and I, hey, that rhymes, is frankly beyond anything we've ever seen before. But you and I, you see, we possess the God-given intellect to see through it all. We know what's going on here. We know what the game is. We know who the players are. And it's Trump and Harris, along with the Federal Reserve here, to issue in the new system of maximum control. Anything you believe to the contrary is wrong, okay? Wrong. Just like my call on Donald Trump's stock, which was dead on, and everything freaking else. People, come on, man. So, wow, it is pouring rain outside of my house right now. It's like a nightmare. Anyway, look, what else can I tell you, people? We're on top of this. We are on top of this. James, if you're trying to give a shout out to Trump by keeping your friends close, your enemies closer, you have no idea what you're talking about, buddy. No idea. I think that's what you're alluding to because I've heard this before. It didn't work last time, ain't going to work now. Period, the end. So just mark my words here, man. Just remember I'm saying those because I said the same thing last time. And look at what happened. Exactly what I said would happen, did happen. The debt ballooned beyond anyone's wildest dreams. The stock market took off like a rocket. Why? On the back of easy money. And that's exactly what we're going to get now. You think there's any relation to reality in the markets or the economy and anything else? Now we're being decimated. The middle class is being erased. These last three presidents have done nothing but decimate. As a matter of fact, under the last three presidents, I want you to think about this. More millionaires and billionaires have been created under the last three presidents than every single president before them combined. Going back to George Washington. But they want to help you out. They want to make you rich. And if you buy their stock, you're going to get rich too. Didn't work out too well. You can't make this stuff up, man. These are enemies of the people. We can't win. We won't win. And again, we're people that are supposed to be able to govern ourselves. And what people do is they surrender it all. No. Trump is going to help me. Kamala's going to help me too. You gotta be kidding me, really? Is that what you've devolved into? Is that what we have? Maybe that's what you've devolved into, not me. No. This thing is coming down here. And you and I, we are part of the revolution. We are part of the solution here. And we need to grow this pride. You all know that. I'm preaching to the choir here, man. Anyway, man, I think we're kind of there pretty much. Is there anything you guys and girls want to cover before we get out of here? JPQ, you know my take on this. Hold your fire. I don't care what happens to them. Look, I'm going to tell you again, all right? You guys and girls do what you want. Those of you that bought Donald J. Trump stock, You got what was coming to you. I told you what not to do. You did it anyway. You got it. Okay. With regard to what's happening here with Bank of America and all the banking system, you do what you want as well. Now, with regard to adding to positions here, I already told my Lions multiple times, and they don't have to be told again. I already said I'm holding my fire until the Fed makes their announcement. They're already in here cutting rates. Mortgage rates just dropped to a 2-year low. You all know that. But they haven't made their announcement that they're doing it yet. They're buying all the debt. Why do you think this issue, all the things we're seeing right now with the yield curve, you think this is just the average guy, the average girl buying all that debt? Mitch knows what I'm talking about. Come on, man. Wake up. No, I own JEPI, bunch of it. I now own a bunch of JEPQ. I will add to JEPQ. I already got a good position here in JPI at the right time. I want to wait. I'm going to sit and wait. And if I'm wrong, if in fact the announcement is made from the Fed and the stock market rockets higher, I just got richer anyway. If in fact the market drops, that's when I'm going to buy. I'm going to tell all of you. I'm going to tell you. You're going to know that. I will put it out in my newsletter. I will talk about it right here on this blog, just like I did last time. What did I tell you? When we had the flash crash Friday into Monday, on Monday, what did I tell you? I told all of you. I made an announcement right on my freaking newsletter. I said, I just bought aggressively. I am buying aggressively today. And I did. Came out smelling like rose. Why? Not because I'm any smarter than anybody else. Because I was watching what was happening in the debt market, the 10-year yield more specifically, looking at the reaction of the US dollar, and then more specifically than that, looking at the MMRI. It's going down. We're getting a little bounce here. You watching the MMRI? Those of you that said we might get a little bounce, it looks like we're getting a bounce. Let's see, MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, link in the description of this video. They're going to prop up this market. If in fact, let's just throw out a hypothetical here. The illusion of the market is extremely powerful. People watch their 401ks, their investment plans doing well, and the world is good. They couldn't care what was happening to the neighbor next door or anybody else. Unfortunately, people have lost the ability to care for each other. Not you and me, our pride, we all care for each other. Okay. Now, the Federal Reserve has a trading desk. They don't play in front of it. They don't frolic around in front of it. They probably have, forget about it, where I was going to go with that one. If in fact the market drops significantly after the announcement is made, after the Federal Reserve tells us what we know they're already doing, and the market falls, they're going to buy the market. They're going to buy large cap stocks. That's what they do. Please look, man. Look this stuff up for yourself. The plunge protection team is real. It happens right at the New York Fed, where they get in here and they buy the market. They will prop it up. They will prop up the market up until the freaking presidential selection. It's not going down before that. If it does, it would be a shock. It would send shock waves around the world. That would be number one. Number two, it would send shock waves through me. I don't see it happening here. Is it possible that they're going to throw something at us? Of course it is, but I don't think it is. I don't think so. I think after the selection, things are going to change. I already told you from many months ago, 2025 could be a game changer, people. But we're ready for it. I don't care what they do. I told you this a million freaking times. Let them play their games. We're going to play our games because we can play it better. Do you realize the strength that we have? The fact that we have each other? The fact that we're able to see. We don't have a crystal ball. No one needs a crystal ball. You just have to have literally one functioning brain cell. Going back to Donald Trump's stock. All you needed was one functioning brain cell to know that this thing was going to fall on its ass. And it ain't done. All right? I'm telling you right now. You don't believe me? Go ahead. Do what you want. All right, man. We got central banks betting against their own system. We have Wall Street banks telling their clients to buy gold. If you don't, I know you say, oh, well, if a Wall Street bank is telling their people to buy gold, that means we should sell. Good, sell yours. Sell your gold. All right. Meanwhile, you're losing. See what people do. I'm a macro guy. I focus on the big picture because that's really what matters. All the other little incremental things or incidental things that happen are because of the macro picture. The macro picture is we've never seen this before. And what we're about to see with emergency monetary policy now, the Fed jumping in here, September, other central banks already doing it. They're all going to do it. They're all going to inflate because this is their goal, to own it all, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort. You all know that. What else can I tell you? Hey, look, I know I got a little angry here in this particular video, but you don't understand that sometimes it's not too fun to sit in this seat. I'm not lying, because I come out here and I try to put out actionable information, the best information that I possibly can, that you guys and you girls can act on, that can use. And then I get people asking me, what should I do, Greg, with NVIDIA? I don't care. You do what you want to do. All right. With regard to anything else, you do what you got to do. If you know you got to learn the hard way, that's okay. Then you'll learn the hard way. I've been there before. I'm just trying to save all of you a lot of heartache. Do you know what this stuff is worth if you had to pay for this kind of stuff? The best things in life are free, people. It's really the truth. Sure, I could go work for a Wall Street institution. I probably would make an obscene amount of money. Do you know what they pay a guy like me? A guy who's an analyst like myself, a macro analyst like myself? Hundreds and hundreds of thousands, probably 500,000 would probably be what I would get per year, plus bonuses, plus this, plus that. But I choose to be here. Why? Because I love what I'm doing. I love all of you. I feel like I'm doing something positive. We, collectively, people, listen to what I'm saying, are making a positive difference in this world. I really believe that with all I got. But again, when I can't, this stuff just gets under my skin, man. When I hear about the rich getting richer, as we all knew, dumping $1 billion worth of stock, well, people can't get by. We're being told lies about inflation. You know this. The Fed could stop inflation immediately. They could have. All they got to do is contract the money supply, which they won't do. They're ballooning it along with other central banks, and raise rates. We do not need lower rates. When you hear Trump or Kamala promise you lower rates, realize you should probably be vomiting on the floor on them, okay? Because they're selling you the same thing that ain't working for nobody. It works for the 1 and 2 percenters. It's destroying the middle class. When you hear Trump or Kamala tell you that we need a weaker dollar, I just can't go there anymore. I just can't go there anymore. We're getting destroyed. We need higher rates, much higher rates. We need a much stronger currency, not a weaker currency. But this is what you're being sold. You're being sold this stuff. And remember, I'm telling you that because this is the same guy who told you to buy his stock. Lovely. All right, people, look, this guy is, yeah, exactly. Vomit all over them, Luke. I mean, they are pukes. They are the worst form of puke because they can't tell you the truth. They won't tell you the truth. Oh, sure, they're going to blame and try to convince you that they have your back and they're going to make everything great for you. It worked out so well last time. What did he do? Vastly inflate the debt and tell you, oh, look at the stock market. He was making more millionaires and billionaires. Look at that stock market. Look at that stock market. Laughing at you. And now we're starting to see the effect of inflation because of the lag effect, and you all know that already. The economy's been dead and buried since 2008. It takes a finite amount of time for all the extra cash that Trump, Obama, and Biden helped to pull into the system. It can take years if you have an economy like we've had since the meltdown. And now we're starting to see the effect, but he won't tell you that. Trump won't tell you that. He knows it too. Trump is not stupid. I don't believe he is. Maybe he is. Maybe I'm giving the man too much credit. Kamala has no idea. She has no idea how the financial system works. Zero. Okay. But Trump, I believe, does. And that makes it even worse, in my opinion. He can't tell you what's really happening. He can't tell you things about money velocity, how there's a lag effect for cash to make it through the economy. He can't tell you about the Cantillon effect, how cash trickles down, and by the time it gets to you, it's been massively devalued. He won't tell you that at all. Because then maybe you might go, whoa, really? Why do you want a weaker dollar then? Why are you promising a lower rate? Make it up, man. 2 things that are going to lead people to the slaughter. You don't think I'm wrong? Watch. No matter who gets selected, you're going to see. You're going to go, I wish I was like Greg Mannarino. And but again, look, none of this changes our plan here. Okay, we are deliberate. We are directed, okay? We are going to continue to do what we've been doing, which means not just yet, but we're looking to still buy the dips in this market until the debt market gives us a sign to get out, which we don't have, and it's nowhere in sight right now. Okay, the debt market is the key to this entire thing. All right, right now, debt market's being propped up. Fed's buying it all. They're going to buy more moving forward. Currency's being devalued. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to stay in the dollar? Good for you. We'll see who ends up winning here. You want to stay in the euro, some other central bank issued note, good for you too. You're going to lose. Okay. You want to be acquiring massively suppressed assets, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I'm not saying that gold and silver prices are going to fall. I'm just saying that the value is going to be even more so than it is now. If we realize the world's going to be flooded with even more debt than there is now, you got to take the opposite side of that trade, just like central banks are doing by acquiring gold, betting against the system that they're forcing us to participate in. Does that make sense to you? It should. And with regard to the stock market, we're gonna stay long. We're gonna stay long. We're gonna buy more. And anybody who's telling you this market's gonna go down, ask them how. See, how is the stock market gonna crash when you have the Fed buying it all the debt? They're willing to get in here and buy the large cap stocks to prop it up as well. How is it going down? Okay, with regard to gold and silver, it's a no-brainer. Commodities, no-brainer. You all know that. Cryptocurrencies as well. This drop that we had in crypto is pretty substantial. Bitcoin now almost under 59,000. It's on sale. It's on sale. You're going to see how this plays out too. You're going to see. Anyway, man, I don't know what else to say with all you guys and girls. I got your back, and I really hope. Look, with everything that I say here, I don't want any of you to really believe it until you think about it. If I've said something to you here that hits you the wrong way, I get it. Do your own research about it. And then if I got it wrong, tell me where and how I got it wrong. I am willing to learn. I may be the daddy lion out here. I'm looking more like a lion every freaking day here with this, right? But that doesn't mean I know everything, man. I'm just giving you my best take on all this. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's it, man. That's kind of Shell. Trump does what he says. I would buy the stock. He didn't tell you to buy the stock now. He told you to buy it when it was 50, 60 bucks. Are you that dumb? Duh? Really? I can't believe anyone's that dumb. Moonraker. I would love to be with Greg Hunter. I love Greg Hunter. Greg Hunter and I had a disagreement a few years back. It was actually about Donald Trump, believe it or not. And he just couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it at all. We couldn't, friends are allowed to talk about things. Friends are allowed to disagree on things. And he just went berserk. And I've apologized to him. I've reached out to Greg Hunter multiple times. I've had all of you pray for this guy when he was sick, when I heard about that. I love Greg. I am willing to, I have wronged many people in my life, okay? That's the truth. We all have. You tell me someone out here who hasn't wronged someone, who regrets what he or she has done. You ask for forgiveness, and if you're not giving it, then it's on them, okay? But if someone wrongs me, and I've had people do things to me that are so bad, I couldn't even tell you. And then they've come around and say, Greg, look, I'm sorry. Poof, gone. All right, we got to do that to each other. You know what I mean? I think you all know where I'm coming from with this. So I don't know what Greg's problem is. I would gladly talk to Greg. If he called me right now while I'm talking to you, I tell him straight out, Greg, I love you, man. I missed you for all these years. I'm really happy to hear from you. So I don't know, man. That's kind of it, man. I don't know which Greg you're referring to. Greg turning into Satan. Does this look evil to you? I don't know. Some people say it looks evil. I don't know. I only kept it because of you guys and girls. I asked you. I said, do I shave or do I not shave? What happened? You guys and girls went crazy. Don't shave. So I haven't shaved. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at, man. People, look, this guy here loves you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. I'm trying so hard to save people from taking losses. It's to stay on the right side of this entire thing. And again, I don't know everything, man. And I have been wrong many, many times. But I give you what I think is the truth. And and the game is always changing. That's a fact. And that's what makes this so challenging. Trying to stay ahead of this whole thing. Um, but that's okay. That's what makes it interesting too. Because if it was always the same, if it was always static, then what fun would it be? Honestly, you gotta look at the thing. You gotta take it apart. You gotta take all its pieces out, whatever it might be. You're looking at something. You take all the individual pieces out. You analyze your each individual piece. You put a few together. How does that work out? That's kind of how I work when I'm looking at the macro picture. I look at the macro picture, and I don't just look at it and say, okay, well, I start to take it apart. I dismantle it. Okay, what this is going on here, this is happening over here, and then I'll take those other pieces and I'll try to fit them. Uh, I think a lot of people who are like hyperanalyze things, and I've always been like this my whole life, work in the same manner. It does work. All right, throw some Miracle Grow in the bed. You think so? I don't know. It's okay. Anyway, people, look, I'm going to kind of get out of here. We've covered a lot. I want you to think about the things that we've spoken about. I really do. Don't just let this stuff go in one ear and out the other. It's important. If you got something out of this, please let me know about it. I will read the comments. I always go through them. Be very careful of certain people out here trying to sell you stuff. I notice there's a lot of people out here, scammers and stuff. Just blow it off. I know I don't have to tell you that. You're all too smart, but once in a while, there's a lot of people pretending to be me. Even my own free newsletter. It's insane. It's just a joke. But the joke is on them because we're too smart to fall for these nonsensical traps. All right, look, that's it. So share the video, get it out there. Look at this, 919 thumbs up. That's pretty impressive. I want to thank all of you for that. Those thumbs up are so valuable. It lets people hear this stuff, and I really believe this is important. Again, we got each other's back, and I really am trying, people. I don't want anyone to get hurt by buying some nonsensical stock. I bet Trump is dumping this stuff. He's not going to let himself take a loss like that. I really don't. He probably was smart enough to get out of it when it was $66 and didn't tell you about it. I wouldn't doubt it. There's none of these people have your best interest in mind. They might sell. That's what they're selling you a lie. I'm telling you, read The Art of the Deal. You want to understand how Trump thinks? Read The Art of the Deal. He tells you straight out. You tell people the truth. You mix it with hyperbole and alternative facts or lies, and you can sell them anything. I think he's spot on. People, again, love you a lot from the heart with all I got. Get this stuff out there. All right. I'll see you in the morning. Until we meet again, people, please take care of yourselves and each other. That's it.